What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jimothy. Now today I thought I would profile for you a Melodius deck profile. Now with the new support coming out in dual overload in the form of a link monster, I thought it was a great idea to just have a go and showcase my rendition of the Melodius deck. So let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into the deck profile. So first and foremost, we have triple solo the Melodius Songstress. Now Melodius Songstress, what she allows you to do is if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a monster, kind of like Cyber Dragon, you can special summon it to the field. If this gets destroyed by battle, you get to special summon a Melodius monster from deck, which is really good. It's not the best in terms of its secondary ability, but to be able to get a free special summon if you control no monsters, so going second or first, can be quite useful. Hence why I play it at 3, just as a bit of an extender. Next, we are playing triple Sonata the Melodius Diva. Now what she allows is if you control a Melodius monster, you can special summon her from the hand, and if she special summoned all fairy type monsters you control, gain 500 attack and defense. Now realistically I'm only using this for the free special summon, mainly because I want to get into my extra deck plays using these two monsters and using as little normal summons as possible. So Sonata's in there for a nice bit of an extender, hence why I play her at 3, because if I see her in combination with another Melodius monster, it's game on from there. Next, we are playing triple Cannon the Melodius Diva. Very useful. Again, if you control a Melodius monster, you can special summon her, and that's the main reason that I do this realistically, just because I want to try and get monsters on board as quickly as possible. The secondary effect is okay, but it's the special summon effect, hence why I'm playing her at 3, because I really want to go into the new link monster that we've got in dual overload. So yeah, definitely play those guys at 3 just because of their special summoning mechanic. Next, we are playing Aria the Melodius Diva. Now again, another 3 of. So when this monster is special summoned by the effect of Melodius monster, monsters you control cannot be targeted or be destroyed by battle. So it can't be targeted with card effects and it cannot be destroyed by battle. This card, in combination with one of the other cards which I'm about to show you, puts up a nice little lock on your opponent, so your opponent really can't do much to be able to destroy this monster or just break your board basically, because it prevents targeting and it prevents destruction, which is really good in combination with the other card I'm about to show you. So definitely a 3 of Aria the Melodius Diva. Next, we're playing 2 Elgi the Melodius Diva. Now what Elgi does, she prevents card destruction, so you can't be destroyed by card effects. So her in combination with Aria, if you get these two on field, that's the lock right there. So your opponent can't target, can't be destroyed by battle, and cannot be destroyed by card effects. So you're only realistically looking from non-destruction removal, which is really good. Hence why I play her at 2. She is a level 5, which is why I play her at 2, because I don't want to see her in my hand as much, and I don't want to see her alone. So very useful card. Next, we are playing for some of the 2 ofs, another Soprano the Melodius Songstress. Now what Soprano does, she acts as a polymerization, so you can fusion summon one fusion monster using this card and another Melodius card using cards from your hand or field. This is the main reason I use her. She basically allows me to fusion summon and go into my extra deck plays, which is really useful. I only play her at 2 because I do run polymerization in this deck as well, but yeah, definitely 2 of. Okay, next we are playing 1 Serenade the Melodius Diva. Only play her at 1, not as useful as some of the other Melodius cards, but what she allows you to do is she can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a fairy type monster. And basically that's what I use her for. She also allows for another normal summon in addition to your normal summon of a Melodius monster. It doesn't come up that often, hence why I only play her at 1, but again, she's useful because it's another Melodius name and it helps to go into, especially with our extra deck plays, summoning her out can be very useful, so definitely a 1 of. Next, we are playing 1 Tamtam the Melodius Diva. Now Tamtam, she basically is a polymerization search, kind of like a fusion sage, so to speak. So basically I use the search polymerization because sometimes, often or not, with some of the spell cards that we're playing in this deck, you want to be able to fusion summon using materials in your hand as well as field. So just having that polymerization search can be really useful. And again, these Melodius monsters can summon out from deck which is why I only play her at 1. Next, for some of the other 1-ups we have a Score, the Melodius Diva. We also have Mozarta, the Melodius Maestra, and we are also having Shapina, the Melodius Maestra. Now, the Melodius Maestras, basically I've put them in here mainly because of our fusion extra deck plays. So we need these Maestras to be able to go into some of our fusion monsters, and that can be quite useful, being able to recycle stuff from graveyard, as well as just other effects that happen, as well as Score. She's a nice battle trap. So what she allows you to do is, if a monster is attacking during damage calculation, you can pitch this from your hand to the graveyard and make that attacking monster's attacking defense become 0. So it's kind of like a reverse Honest effect kind of thing, which is really, really useful. Speaking of Honest, we are actually running 1 Honest along with 1 Barrier Statue, as well as 1 Tethys, Goddess of Light. So what Tethys allows you to do is, if a fairy type monster is drawn, you can reveal that card and draw 1 more card. So it's basically just cycling through your deck. If you can get this card, needs to be face up on the field for it to be able to be resolved, but it's useful nonetheless. Barrier Statue of the Heavens, we all know what this does: prevents your opponent from special summoning monsters apart from light monsters. And Honest, this is just literally Mr. Beatstick himself. Pitch this from hand, target one of your Melodius monsters who normally can't be destroyed by battle anyway, but being able to go on the offensive with this card is really, really good, hence why we play him at 1. Next, ladies and gents, we are onto the spells, and we are running triple Ostinato. Now, what Ostinato allows you to do is fusion summon a Melodius fusion monster from your extra deck using materials from your main deck. And when that fusion monster is on the field during the end phase, it is destroyed. If it is destroyed, it allows you to special summon the materials used for that fusion summon back onto the field. So what I normally tend to do, ladies and gents, is I will use this card, especially going first, fusion summon out one of my fusion monsters, go through all my plays, etc., leave that fusion monster on board, and then the materials come back. And normally the materials that I use are the Melodius Diva, Algae, and Aria. Now what they do is negate the effects, negate the ability for your opponent to target, destroy by battle, or even destroy by card effects. So they come at first turn, ladies and gents, and it's a mad crazy luck to be able to do that. And this card just basically facilitates that play. So definitely a free up in my opinion. Next, we are running 1 Movement Solo. Now what Movement Solo allows you to do is, if you control no monsters, you're allowed to special summon a Melodius monster from deck. Really, really powerful card. Again, it locks you into Melodius monsters being activated that turn in terms of summoning, but it is really, really useful. And again, if you see this in your starting hand, it's not a brick, ladies and gentlemen. You can keep going, as well as turns 2 and 3 if they manage to get over your board somehow. So really, really useful card, hence why I play it at 3. Next, we are running Triple Fortissimo. Now what Fortissimo allows you to do, it's got 2 effects. So basically the first effect is basically an attack boost of 800 points to a Melodius monster. However, its second effect, it acts as polymerization, so you can send it to your field and fusion summon a fusion Melodius monster from your extra deck using this card and materials from your hand and field. So really, really useful. Again, I play it at 3, so about essentially 4 copies of polymerization in this deck, including the normal polymerization. So definitely a free up in my opinion. Next, for some secret, saucy, spicy tech, we are running 2 Ties of the Brethren. Again, fantastic card. So you pay 2,000 life points, target 1 monster on field, and you can special summon a monster with the same attribute and level, I believe. Let me just check to make sure that I'm not giving you some incorrect information. Yep, attribute and level. So it allows you to get out a selection of your Melodius monsters. Again, we're trying to set up that lock with Aria and Algae, and this just helps to facilitate that. You are locked and you can't special summon any further, but being able to use this in a pinch can be really, really useful, especially if you set up obviously some fusion plays going forward. So a 2 of in my opinion. I did have it at 3, but it was a little bit cloggy, so I took 1 of them out, and it seems to be working fine. Next, for some generic cards, we are running 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. Now again, I didn't really like the discard cost in this deck particularly of Twin Twisters, so I opted not to use Twin Twisters, and mainly because you can set up that lock where you can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. It doesn't tend to come up that I need to get rid of that many floodgates. However, I do have it in here just in case, because Mystic Mine is a thing, as well as some other floodgates, like there can be only one. So just being able to have this as a little bit of protection to remove some of those threats is really, really useful. And next we are running 1 Sanctum of the Parashaft, 1 Valhalla King Hall of the Fallen, and 1 Polymerization. Valhalla Hall of the Fallen, again, if you control no monsters, I can just special summon a Melodius monster from hand onto the field, and then continue with my plays from there, because a lot of their effects activate when they're special summoned. So being able to do this is really, really useful. And again, Sanctum of the Parashaft, a nice 300 point boost. Your opponent cannot target set cards that you control, as well as being able to stack the top of your deck using cards from your graveyard can be really, really useful, especially if you've got Tethys on field, because then you can stack it, use Tethys' effect to draw a card when you reveal a fairy monster. So really, really useful card, hence why I only play it at 1, because I don't want it to clog up my deck again. So definitely a 1 of. It's a 42 card deck, by the way. Next, onto the traps. We're only playing 2 traps. We are playing 1 Melodius Illusion and 1 Golden Match. So Melodius Illusion allows you to target 1 face-up monster you control, a Melodius monster, and it's unaffected by the effects of spells and traps, and it can make it that monster can make a second attack during the battle phase. So again, if you've got Sanctum of the Parashaft on field, you can actually set this on your turn, do whatever you need to do, your opponent has his turn, and then you can flip this on your turn and be able to attack twice and basically attack for game, which is really, really useful. And Golden Match, again, if they're playing a deck that has a lot of different attributes, for example, Golden Match, you can flip this on them and just have to send cards from the field to the grave if they have multiple attributes on field. So really, really useful. Again, we play light monsters in this deck only, so it shouldn't really affect us. So Golden Match definitely a 1 of, in my opinion. Next, ladies and gents, we are onto the extra deck, and we are running double Shuberta, the Melodius Maestro. Now what Shuberta allows you to do is banish cards, up to 3 cards from the graveyards, in order to give her a 200 attack point boost for each card banished. So she basically goes up to a 3k beat stick. The main usage of this card is obviously when I was talking about Ostinato, and is to fusion summon into her, do my plays, she gets sent to the graveyard, and special summon 2 of my Melodius monsters back, because she only requires 2 Melodius monsters, which is really, really important to take note of that. So definitely a 2 of. I was thinking about bumping it up to 3. I haven't really toyed about with it, especially with Master Rule 5 coming up, so that's something that I'm probably going to play around with, but definitely a 2 of, in my opinion. Next, we are running double Bloom Primer, the Melodius Choir. Now she is absolutely fantastic. She can attack twice, and she gains attack based on the number of fusion materials used for a fusion summon. So she's really, really useful. She helps for OTKs basically, which is something that the deck needed, in my opinion. So really, really useful. Runner at 2. She requires a Melodius Maestro monster, and we only run 2 in our deck. However, when she's sent to the graveyard, she allows for a bit of recursion. She can add 1 Melodius monster back. So normally what you would do is add a Maestro back, because you kind of like need the Maestro either on field or in your hand. Really, really good card. Again, definitely play it at 2. Next, we are running double Bloom Diva, the Melodius Choir. Now she is really, really useful. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. She only has 1000 attack. However, when she attacks or battles a special summon monster, the opponent takes any battle damage that you would have taken, as well as being able to destroy that monster. So for example, if you went into Borosword, for example, and Borosword attacked into this, your opponent would take the damage and Borosword would get destroyed, but she remains on field. Really, really, really good card. Again, she also takes a Melodius Maestro monster, so very, very useful card, in my opinion. Next, we are onto the newest card from Dual Overload, which is Bloom Harmonist, the Melodius Composer. Now what she does is really, really useful. So when she's link summoned, you can discard 1 card and special summon 2 Melodius monsters from your deck to its arrows with different levels. So when they're summoned, normally again what you're trying to go for is your Algae and your Aria, who are level 5 and level 4 respectively. And once you've got that on field, it's basically preventing locks, can't be destroyed by battle. And also monsters that attack that's been pointed to by Bloom Harmonist, the Melodius composer, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, which is really good. So fantastic card in my opinion. Again, allows for some OTK potential with some of the cards that we've got in deck. Great support. I'm glad that they brought this out actually, because we kind of needed a Link monster in this deck. It's a bit late though, considering Master World 5, but hey ho, it is what it is. Next, for some utility, we are running one Hip Hoshinigan, my apologies. So this is basically a 500 point tap boost, as well as secondary effect to add a light monster from a graveyard. Really useful. Only play him at 1. I don't tend to go into him too much now that we've got the new support, but he's there nonetheless. Also, we are running one Nightmare Unicorn, one Nightmare Cerberus, and one Nightmare Phoenix. I actually don't know where I put my Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix. I've got them somewhere, but that's definitely the Nightmare package. Nothing really needs to be said about those guys. We are also running one Underclock Taker. Again, just to give us a nice little attack boost. If you can get one of the fusion monsters on field, it can really do some crazy damage, especially if you get Bloom Primer on field. Because being able to attack twice, especially if it's into a monster, you can make that monster lose its attack and just beat over that monster. So really good card in this deck. And then finally, we are playing one Fairy Cheer Girl. Rank 4 monster. Basically what you need to do with this card is you detach an XYZ material. It allows you to draw one card. If Tethys is on the field and it's a fairy monster, you get another draw. So it's just basically allowing you to cycle through your deck. So it combos nicely with Tethys. And that is the deck, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know if you are actually playing Melodius. It's not a popular deck. It did need the support. Dual Overload did help it somewhat, but it's still missing a few bits and pieces in my opinion. Some floodgate removal, some destruction effects, but hey ho, it is what it is. So ladies and gents, that's the end of the profile. Would you make any changes? Let me know in that comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Peace.